この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo. I am here on Monday morning for Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu, starting with episode 93, and we're just going to see how far we get. We're going to do at least 2. I say that because last time we did 3, because I needed that one more. So last time on Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu, we watched 90, 91, and 92. There we go. And a whole lot of stuff happened. So we had riots in the streets and bloodshed. We had a tip to Royenthal that, was it a tip? Yeah, an anonymous tip that Trunit was responsible for that. We had some inside scoops on the terrorists' plans, planning to utilize Royenthal as the spark of rebellion and conflict, and then to set up terrorism itself as a religious alternative to the eventual assumed tyranny that will come out of Reinhard. Given that Yang is removed from the picture, it doesn't appear to the terrorists, at least, that democracy is a worthy alternative, and so they are hoping that in the face of tyranny from on high, people will turn to other powers, specifically their religion, which then they can use to take over the galaxy or get whatever the hell they want. It's pretty great. Meanwhile, Reinhard is kind of being a worried boy about his whole marriage proposal thing, and he doesn't have anything to do. He's got his normal administrative duties and his time spent being sick, but he's looking for distractions. At least that's the way that I take it. And so he's going to operas and plays and horseback riding and doing all sorts of stuff. Taking Bittenfeld along, who seems to really enjoy the opera. He's just like, which is kind of great. And then on Fazan, there are rumors. The rumor mill is working overtime on Fazan. I assume that the terrorists are largely responsible for that. They've probably got plants all over spreading whispers and bits of information about how Royenthal's gonna rebel. Oh my god, Royenthal's gonna rebel. Oh, Royenthal's gonna rebel. But Royenthal, hearing these, is like, well, I'm curious what Reinhard thinks about this. Does he trust me? Does he not trust me? Does he think I'm actually going to do this? So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what the rumors say that I would do if I were trying to rebel, which is invite Reinhard to come and visit, and see how Reinhard reacts. See, if he comes, then he trusts me. If he seems standoffish, then maybe there's a problem here. And at that point, it's like, well, if there's a problem and the person above me has a problem with me, then my head's on the block and I got to do something, right? So this could very genuinely spark something from Royenthal's side. Then, on the way there, Reinhard takes a little pit stop and on a little planet. I think it's the planet that's called Uravasi. There's Uravasi and then there's Gandar something. Maybe one's the system, one's the planet, or one's the city and one's the planet. It's Uravasi. And after bedding down for the evening, there is Lutz and Mueller, I believe, notice. Was it Lutz and Mueller? Shit, now I'm getting confused by myself. I know it was Lutz. We'll get to that. They noticed some odd behavior from the soldiers around, kind of milling about, seemingly preparing for some kind of operation when there shouldn't be anything to operate about, except for the fact that Reinhard is here. So they kind of put 2 and 2 together and come up with a bad number. I just realized how well that joke works. Wow, that's actually amazing. I have never heard that used in that way. I guess it requires knowledge of the Japanese superstition about the number 4 for that to work. Like, 2 plus 2 equals death, right? Anyway, so yeah, they put some things together and decide to quickly take action and get Reinhard the hell out of there and onto their ship, which is going to be much harder to assault. And so they try to do that, make their way through the forest. We get some really kind of amazing scenes of like AA fire just getting deflected by the it's the Brunhilde, right? By its shields, and it was kind of awesome. A forest aflame and a lake, and the ship like landing into a oh my god. But they are set upon by people, by soldiers, wearing imperial garb. Uncertain whether they're actually loyal Imperials, but after a dope ass scene where Reinhard just kind of is like, "Do you have the balls? Come on, come on!" One of these soldiers turns and decides to help them and save his own life in the process and lead them through the forest. Meanwhile, they hear a large pack of others coming their way, and Lutz sacrifices himself for the cause, and it's pretty sad. Like Lutz wasn't a super major admiral. It's not as though we're having Mittermeier die or something. But he's a named character, an admiral, and well, posthumously a fleet admiral. Although that was Reinhard's one request. But he knew. He knew. Rip Lutz. I wonder if he'll get a title in death. I kind of hope so. I think he deserves it. If Mueller gets Iron Shield, Lutz needs something. But I think we ended off with the news of a bunch of this stuff. Not sure how specific the news was, but the news coming from Boris, right? Boris Konev and the other Fizani boys who bring this information to Iserlohn. Bring this information to Iserlohn and Julian, and what do we do about this? I mean, this is a big spark for conflict, and it is potentially an opportunity for a lot of people. We know that the terrorists already consider this an opportunity, and it's likely that they are behind this particular attack. Considering that Royenthal was not, like, as far as I can tell, Royenthal was not in on this. At the very least, we didn't get any indication that he was like, yes, also tell the people on Uravasi to do the thing, right? Like, we didn't get any setup that implies that Royenthal was planning this. What we got from him was, I want to know if Reinhard trusts me right now. And then we'll move from there, you know? But this is also potentially an opportunity for the remnants of the Alliance hanging out on Iserlohn to do something. And I had a weird thought, which was, holy shit, what if they harbored Reinhard? That would be the craziest twist. I kind of don't think that's going to happen. We'll see. But we know that this is maybe an opportunity for them to do something. Maybe either garner favor with the Empire or find a way to use this distraction to gain a foothold somewhere. Maybe. We know that the terrorists think this is an opportunity. I think the big question is, what is Royenthal going to think? Because the fact that Reinhard was coming means Reinhard mostly trusts Royenthal. Mostly. What's Royenthal going to think about this? Is he going to think, oh shit? Or is he going to think, oh shit, opportunity strikes? Kaiser Reinhard is on the back foot. Time for me to step up. I don't really know. I am finding Royenthal to be a difficult character to predict, but an extremely interesting character. And he's a character that I feel like I understand, but I do not know what he's going to do next. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. So I feel and hope that we focus on people's reactions to the news of this event, specifically Reinhard's reaction, Julian and Iserlohn's reaction, and if we get any fly-on-the-wall scenes of the terrorists doing their thing and any information that comes with that, nice. I would also love to touch base with Rubinsky, potentially the whole like, because Oberstein realized that Lang and Rubinsky were meeting, right? So that whole spiel is going on as well, and is interesting at the very least. As I said, lots of stuff going on. Not sure what's going to happen next. There are a few people who are at crossroads, who are at decision points, and Royenthal is, I think, chief among them. It also is going to be really, really important to see what Reinhard does in this situation. Does he flee or dart back to Vazan, gather more forces? Like, what's Reinhard's play here? Because I think it was in these 3 episodes themselves, we talked about Reinhard's, one of his main flaws, and the reason that he has lost a couple of battles is his inability or difficulty to use defensive strategies. So I get the feeling that Reinhard might not take the actual smartest course of action. But we'll see. But we'll see. So that's a lot of blabbing at the beginning of the video. Let's go ahead and jump on into episode 93 of Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu and see what we have in store for us. I have the episode up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video, a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, which you can find in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. Picture-in-picture version won't have discussion. Timer-based version won't have video. Mix and match whichever parts you want. If you're using the timer-based version and syncing up with your own media, there will be a beep beep timer at the beginning to do that. And yeah, if you're doing that, get it ready because 93 will be starting soon. Beep beep boop beep 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 up ba ba. I should shut up. Where's my tea? Oh, I had it over here because I was sitting in bed watching Critical Role. Royenthal. I'm already giggling. Oh shit. Oh jeez. Okay. In front of all his men. But are we gonna get an inside Royenthal's mind moment? He sent Girl Pulsar? Okay. Okay. Yeah, he can't openly betray. Really? Really? But he hasn't done it. So he does believe that now his head is on the chopping block. Oberstein? Hmm. Because he believes that Reinhard would believe. But you didn't do it. Yeah. He's gonna lean in? Dude, Royenthal. Dude, Roy. Yeah. I'm with Bergengruen on this. Because you're innocent. Right? He's the one who feels betrayed. But Oberstein. Oh my god, so many things. So many things had to happen just so to make this happen. Ooh. So I will become what they believe me to be. You gonna follow me into hell? Yeah. Actually, Bergengruen, you should do that right now. Because Royenthal just lost it. I mean, he's completely rational, but I think his assumptions are off. I'm with Bergengruen on that, but Royenthal's not gonna have any part of it. Yep. But Overstein. I would rather make it a reality. Holy shit. You think so? Oof. But not him. Not him. Oh my god. I don't know how to say this, but like using Trunit means being used by Trunit. What he does is make himself quote unquote useful so that he can parasitize. Shit. And spreads it around. Is this your father? I'm sure. Wait, I thought she died in childbirth. I thought that was the source of the hatred. I guess not. I guess I misremembered. Shit, little baby Royenthal's pretty cute. Oh no, not Ava. Don't you fucks with her. Mm-mm. Nope. Don't you dare. But a source of resentment? Maybe once. Was that What's her face? Crazy lady? You have a son though, right? About that. Oh, yeah. They don't have a choice. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah. Bruh. It's because you're homies. Yike. Ah, it's so tragic and so ironic. Even if I don't want it to. Yeah, alright, man. Alright. Mm-hmm. You can rationalize however you want. The question is who's gonna follow you? Everyone turning away. Father. Where and when is this? And who is that? And who's that? What the hell? Holy shit. Hmm. The dearest him. Wow. Raising him up to the status of God. Oh man. The best homies. Oh, and that day when they fought together. Man, this is so much more internal Royenthal thoughts than I really expected. It's kind of amazing. But now it's pretty clear what's gonna happen. Well, what Royenthal is going to do. Good times. Long gone. Stormwolf? Hmm. I don't think that's true at all, but he thinks it is. And here we go. Time has come. You'd fucking better. Oh, man. Oh, man. Respect and betrayal. Oh, geez, and the capes. Okay, that was a shot. Oh man, he's that kind of laughter. That's a special thing. All right, we'll talk about nervous chuckling. Yep, the inevitability. Minamaya, you're a good dude. You're a good dude. I hope this doesn't drag you down too. Of course. Priorities. But still, the emotional blow. Oh. Alright, that was cute. Hi, Virgin Green. Make up your mind, buddy? Ah, I see. Yeah. Let's get this out of the way. Fuck you. But also. Uh-huh. So punchable. In my head canon, Royental's just like, don't punch him, don't punch him, don't punch him. Okay, just say what you gotta say. So. What's that called? Like a lesson case? He'll eat what he can. As long as there's power there. Smart boy. Smart boy. Alright. First move out of the gate, pretty solid from Royental. Yeah, that smile's kind of gone, huh, bud? Later, bitch! Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Whoa. I don't even know what to write down for that. They'll they'll distrust it, but all right, that's a really surprising move, but potentially the best one he could have possibly played. Shit, Royenthal's good. This is Julian speaking. Yeah, he would have been a solid leader, but 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 wow, that's a really good way to put it. He couldn't have couldn't have done what Reinhard did, but he could succeed him. Wow. But also, Royenthal taking over after Reinhard is potentially the best case scenario for the Empire, at least. Well, then we go back to like the status quo of season 1. Reasonably so. Okay, so heading home. Yeah. 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 It's a hell of a way to put it. What was going on there? Like, what happened there? Whoa. Got paratroopers. Cool. Oh, wow. And tanks. So are they all what, terrorist sympathizers? Popped. Good, good. Yeah, I want answers there. Oh. Destroyed all the information. Oh. The the terrorist drugs. The terrorist drugs. The mind control drugs. Ah, so they were all convinced they were fighting. Gotcha. Gotcha. They were all fighting under false pretenses. Aha, Terra is my mother. So, a few plants, a lot of drugs in the food system. That's odd. What? What? Girl Pulsar? What are you thinking, bro? And what is that? Is that Mittermeyer's? It's Wallen. Okay, 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 okay. Cool, good. Solid. Safety. For now. I'm sure. As long as he gets home to Fazan. But Ryantal doesn't know that. Oh, never mind. Ah. Tumbled. Okay. Yeah. So shit's gonna go bad. Then just keep getting bad. Okay. All right. Okay. This is life now. All right, let's avoid that preview. Nope. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. This is gonna bug me forever. There's a phrase for when something is like a lesson of what not to do. Cautionary tale. That would work. We can work with cautionary tale. All of that in reference to the conversation that Trunit and Royenthal have, where Royenthal kind of jokes about that, and then friggin' Trunit like hoists himself by his own petard, big time. Where is it? Okay, here. Yeah, I have something I want you to do. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna up the speed. You'd advocate like this, wouldn't you? That the reason you've acted in such a deplorable way was to foster the wholesome... Yeah, okay. Foster the wholesome development of Republican democracy by setting an example as a warning to posterity. And he's just like, yes, yeah, that's totally what I was doing. And he's like, ha. Just kidding. I have no intention of doing that. And then Royal's like, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking scum. All right, take him to prison. Don't need him around. Might make use of him later, but yep, forgot. This guy sucks. So that's pretty good. Man, Royenthal's couple of initial moves here are really interesting. Really interesting. Oh, and Yulian's little little talk about like what Royenthal could have been in a different age or different time, different circumstances. Like in a way, Royenthal kind of created the circumstances that prevent him from excelling. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. Okay, I wrote down 3 things that I wanted to talk about. I wrote down nervous chuckling against a wall, lesson case, which we just kind of dealt with, and then Easter lawn. Because those were the 3 huge standout things in this episode, besides the one shot where we have Reinhard and Royenthal and their like capes fly out, and then we just do this like crazy spinning shot around them and like through them. I do want to see that again. I don't remember where it was in the episode because I didn't write it down, but I know it was once we get into like Royenthal's inner thoughts. And I'm sure that the scene is long enough that just skimming through will be able to catch it. So I'm just going to skim through in 5-second intervals. Through. There it is. Yeah, so it comes right after the reminiscing about the "you may challenge me at any timeline." And I just want to see the whole thing. So I'm going to up our speed a little bit. And oh, wow. What a fucking... Oh my god. All right, let's it's Control R? Yep. Otherwise it would be a discourtesy to the Kaiser. Oh my god, he's so wrong and so right at the same time. I don't even know, man. Okay, but this scene is pretty fucking awesome. The 2 capes go flying out. And then we zip, zap, zoom, and zip all around them. Sit them facing off with the galaxy behind them. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's going down. It's going down for real. Please don't copyright me. I know I'm off key, but still. There are so many things that had to line up just right for Royenthal to make the decisions that he made. Like, without his history, without where he comes from, without his indignation, general indignation toward everything, his feeling like he's kind of been betrayed his whole life, everything, his feeling of not belonging, everything. The conflicts and the butting heads with Lang and Oberstein, like if that hadn't happened, he'd feel probably comfortable enough to go and just talk to Reinhard about this shit. But because he sees them as standing in his way, and I think he's probably right, like Oberstein and Lang tried to assassinate his character using what's-her-face, the woman, and the child. But failed only because like Mittermeier stepped in and Reinhard was amenable. But not a second time. Oberstein would purge him. Wow. Wow, this is fascinating. Because the reality of the situation does not matter one bit at this point. It doesn't matter at all. All that matters is the opinion of Royenthal. What does Royenthal think everyone else thinks of him? What does Royenthal think is going on? That's all that matters. And that means it's super easy to manipulate. Because as strong-minded as he is, he's also crippled by his own, like, his self-doubt, the words of his father that were drilled into his mind, his sort of inferiority complex, you know? Oh, man. Oh, man. So one of the things that I wrote down was his nervous chuckling, which I want to go and find. Let's go and find that. It's the moment when he really decides, right? And then he smiles. Thought it should just go to hell. Right. But then there's the bond with Mittermeier. Right. You may challenge me. It would be a discourtesy to the Kaiser. I think it was here. No? It's when he smiles and laughs. No, okay. This is Julian stuff. When did that happen? It was before we found out about the Easter loan plan. Because I wrote it down before that. Go backward in 5-second increments. I thought it was after most of this, but I guess not. I know it's when he's alone. No? No. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to cut this, so I'm just gonna skim through it at like 5 times speed or something. Stand between the Kaiser and him. Lutz is dead. Arg. Arg. I don't mind becoming a traitor. Right, right. Okay, well, it's after... No, it's not after anything. There's a way to use him. Sends Bergengruen off. I think it's here. It's not here? No, now he starts imagining and remembering. What the fuck? You should never have been born. I'm not sure what story that is. Just a little confused by that, but that's okay. Intoxication of naivete. Privilege. A bunch of the scenes of bonding between Mittermeier and Royenthal. No. No. Is it immediately after this? Yeah, it is. Okay. I just missed it repeatedly. All right, I think it's Control R to reset our speed, and we're good to go. Okay, great. So here we be. We open up on the moment, and I think we need the audio for this. Otherwise, it doesn't quite land. Ow, that was loud. Also, Control R. Yeah, so it's a really short thing. I still want to talk about it, though, because I immediately related to it. I was in a situation about, I don't know, I think it was about 1.5 years ago, where I had moved to another city, and was living there, was working there, and the company I was working at folded, collapsed, and I had moved there with nothing, with like $0, and so I had gone into debt to pay like the down payment on the apartment, or the deposit on the apartment, and was like, at the time that the company folded, I think I'd been working there for 8 or 9 months and had just about hit black, like broken even. Essentially, I was renting a place that I technically probably shouldn't have been able to afford. Like, it was within my salary, but it wasn't the 1/3 of salary recommended. It was closer to 50% of my salary, and cost of living. This was in outskirts of San Francisco in Berkeley. Cost of living was very high, and I just wasn't very smart about this, and didn't expect the company to fold the way that it did. Essentially, no warning, really. No severance, just the legal requirement of warning, and that was it. Like, no indication from anyone on the team that the company was not doing that well, or wasn't making enough money. It was not good in a lot of ways, but I ended up in a situation where, like, I made that month's rent, and then I had a month. okay, shit. Had a month, and no prospects, knew nobody in the city, so immediately job applications start going out, but there was a time limit on them. And got nothing. Got nothing. Found nothing. So, like, my world at that point collapsed, and I found myself essentially up against a wall. Like, if I don't do something within the next 2 weeks, I will be homeless, straight up. And since the work that I was doing was computing, right? I was a programmer, still am, I suppose. Since I was doing programming work, like, being homeless means not being able to work from home, right? Lack of internet, lack of electricity. These are not things that can be overcome easily. Not when you don't have income, at least. So, bad situation. And I basically felt the walls closing in on me. No way out. And at a certain point, something in my brain went, and I remember extremely clearly, I was sitting in my room, like, halfway through sort of packing things up, knowing that I was going to have to find a place to go. Not sure where, no clue what to do. Just like, oh shit, my life's over. Fuck. And at a certain point, I started laughing exactly like that. Just like, and in that moment, all of the fear of the unknown and everything just seemed kind of ridiculous and silly. I don't know why. I don't exactly have like a psychological explanation for this, but having experienced this same kind of hitting a wall, feeling yourself cornered, and then kind of laughing at the ridiculousness of it, and then just keeping on, choosing a path regardless of how ridiculous it is. Like, it's sort of a moment of acceptance, I guess. That's what I felt at the time, at least. Was like, well, this is the way it's gonna be. Either I do something or I'm gonna be dead in a year. Like, I'm not gonna survive very long on the streets of San Francisco. It's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to do something. Don't know what, but I'm essentially already a dead man walking, and so whatever's out there, I'm less afraid of it than doing nothing. So I just wanted to bring that up because I really related to Royenthal's kind of like, well, shit. Just sort of laughing nervously at the situation. Kind of awesome. Kind of awesome. The whole sequence of flashbacks that Royenthal has, some of them not sure about, some of them really kind of powerful. I was under the impression for some reason that Royenthal's mother died in childbirth. I thought that was part of the reason that Royenthal was blamed by his father, but I suppose not. I might just be completely misremembering. But we focus on a bunch of things. We focus on Royenthal's perspective on his relationship with Mittermeier and their friendship, but also the perspective on, like, and the deep irony that occurs with these two friends' love lives. Mittermeier, who has a loving relationship, can't have a child. Royenthal, who has a relationship essentially founded on hatred, has one. The thing that he desperately didn't want. It's ironic and it's painful for both of them. Man. The way he says the dearest hymn, I think, is the phrasing he uses. Never thought I wanted to destroy it with my own hands. When I found out the dearest hymn, the him who is 9 years younger than me, was doing it, the shock I felt was not insignificant. Such a wide difference of ambition between the great and the ordinary. I was carried away by it, and I gambled on it, on him. And that led you to your greatest friendship and your great exploits, and it also led you to now, to this moment. And so he resolves himself. I will call upon everything at my disposal so as not to disrespect the man that I respect. This is so nuts. This is so nuts. It's like, oh my god. It is crazy. So then I believe we start with Yulian's voiceover at this point. Nope. Nope. Okay, that's when we've got the Mittermeier stuff, got the Trunit stuff, which is hilarious and I love it. And then we've got the fucking offer. This is absurd. But they're not even in a position to really do that. They're not. Reinhardt's heading toward Fazan. Reinhardt is. Two major characters in conflict with the same starting letter is a bit of an issue. I don't know if they're in a position to actually assist in that way. And I don't know if he's in a position to really offer that. You kind of have to win first. But the fact that he would be willing to do that is amazing. Is amazing. And it's a huge wrinkle that I definitely didn't expect. If they prevent the Imperial Forces' passage, I'll give them control over the entire former Alliance territory. All of Neuland. Oh, okay. Okay. That shouldn't surprise you. Really? Like, really? Nah. Alright, also, we'll sweeten the deal with the head or body of Chub Trunit, whichever one you want. I don't care. And then, okay, so this is, once we get the white text, we've got... Oh, well, that's not comprehensible. We've got Yulian speaking. Yeah, so would have been totally suited for a bunch of stuff, governor of expansive territory, exactly where he is right now. But there was one thing that he probably wouldn't be the best at, and that would be being emperor of the new empire. And as an emperor of 3 generations later, I'm not sure what this line is. There would have been no one who possessed the kind of talent and prominence that Royenthal had. Okay, I do not know what that line about an emperor from 3 generations later. I can't even begin to think of what that means. Okay, hold on. His talent was more than enough, but in this area, one position that did not appear appropriate to the emperor. Okay. When we think about it, as an emperor of 3 generations later, there would have been no one who possessed the kind of talent and prominence that Royenthal had. So is it saying that 3 generations from Reinhard, Royenthal would have been the absolute best prospect for being emperor? But at present, he wouldn't be able to do this. This is the age of the founder, and he would have been a preserver, right? Okay, that kind of makes sense. But that also implies that Yulian is writing this from 3 generations later, which is weird. But okay, maybe we're just reading from a future history book. Would have inherited the system, done good stuff, but he wouldn't have been able to create a system on his own. Much more extraordinary than any of the Golden Bomb, but nothing would have really changed. He would have been a preserver, preserving what came before, not a creator. This is reasonable, but it also means, in my mind, like, at present, Reinhard doesn't have an heir and shouldn't, at least from his own perspective. And I think I agree with him that, a dynastic heir or like a hereditary heir is a bad idea. Because it's a bad idea. I think this plays into the reason for Reinhardt's original like statement of, if you ever feel like you want to challenge me, go for it. And his seeming pure willingness to, if someone can take him down, good for them, let him have the empire. I think the root of that is the desire for somebody capable, someone with the capacity to rule a nation, a huge nation, to take his place. And from that perspective, I think Reinhardt still has work to do, but I don't think there's a better candidate than Royenthal in the Empire currently. I think Julian is the best candidate, but I don't think there's a better candidate than Royenthal in the Empire. Mittermeier is up there, but is more subordinate. Royenthal has the fire. He's also got a lot of flaws. He's no Reinhardt, right? But as a preserver of what Reinhardt has created, I can't think of anyone better. So maybe Royenthal winning is best case for the maintenance of the Empire. But the issue is that, should that happen, and if he were to give back all of that land to the Alliance, then we essentially return to the status quo at which we began the series, I mean, with a potentially hereditary autocracy and a democracy split by these two corridors and separate, and eventually probably going to war. Nothing would have changed, except the people in power. Fascinating. This is really fascinating to me. So we also learned a couple of pieces of information. So the thing on Urvasi, it appears that there were like a small contingent of planted terrorists among the soldiers who likely used whatever access they had to like add some of that mind control stuff to the food and water supply, and thus mildly brainwash everyone else, at least to the extent that they could be like, yeah, we gotta go and rescue Reinhardt by killing Reinhardt. And everybody's like, yeah, that sounds good, let's do it, woohoo! Yeah, for the glory of the Empire, woo! Sieg Kaiser Reinhardt, kill Kaiser Reinhardt! Oh, geez, oh, wait, what are we saying? That seems to be what happened. There was something interesting, though, which was that, Grillpalzer, when he found out about it, he, one, didn't send that information back, right? Testimonies were a thing, right? Among the dead. Did not attempt to report that fact at that time. And then we get this like, it's not a smile, it's a tensing of the muscles here, right? It's like a squint almost, but it pulls the sides of his lips up. It's very strange. He strikes me as like the next Royenthal in a way in this scene. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the other thing at play here, which is that betrayal fosters betrayal, right? One traitor who succeeds puts sparks into the imaginations of people. It also creates general turmoil. All the people who were loyal to Reinhardt aren't just gonna flip sides and be like, yeah, see Kaiser Royenthal, see Kaiser Royenthal. It's not gonna happen. There's no, he doesn't have the kind of world-changing, universe-shaping charisma. He doesn't have it. Which would mean lots of unrest, which would mean other people whose maybe ambitions are getting a little too big for their britches might step in and try something. That would be an interesting route, to have the Empire cannibalize itself with all of these fleet admirals, like the sons of a great general or a great conqueror, because that's essentially what this is. These are all of the generals of a great conqueror. Remove the conqueror, there's nothing binding them together except thin shreds of interpersonal loyalty, which do not stand up to the force of ambition. Oh man. This is so interesting, and I think one other thing that it demonstrates is just how human and fluid politics are. Like, I think, and this is just a thought that I'm coming up with off the top of my head. But I think a lot of people, myself included, maybe think of nations and political machinery as machinery, like it operates on set principles. But it's kind of easy to forget that there are always humans at the wheel. And while they're maybe constrained by the rules and institutions that they reside in, they are still human and they have the capacity to change those institutions. And thus, it is not so much what is happening, but what the people in power believe is happening that shapes policy. For example, it does not particularly matter whether North Korea is a nuclear threat to the world. If people believe that North Korea is a nuclear threat to the world, they will act accordingly. And that means everything that it means, right? Whether that means like it's worth attacking preemptively and taking them out, or whether that means we should be respectful to them and not fuck with them so they don't nuke us. Like whatever it means, they're going to act according to their beliefs and assumptions because it's always human. And that means that people may act rationally based on false assumptions. And I think there's some of that going on here. I think there's quite a bit of that going on here with Royenthal. I think Royenthal is acting rationally under the belief that he has absolutely no other options. And he firmly believes that. And so it is as true as truth to him. Fucking A. Fucking A. Alright. Okay. Well, we have talked about this episode for a long time. Which I think makes sense, because we've been building to this for like... When was the scene when Reinhard told Royenthal, like, yeah, if you wanna try something, go for it? When was that scene? Because, like, since then, we've been setting this up. That was the first one, and yeah, there have been lulls in between, but there's been a pretty consistent, like, little thing happens that pushes Royenthal a little bit closer toward this, and we sort of sit here and go, I wonder if that's gonna push Royenthal a little closer toward betrayal. I wonder if Royenthal is ever gonna actually do anything about this. They made him the governor of a large territory, the same territory that the Empire has been at war with for a long time. I wonder if this is the position that he needs to spark something in him. I wonder what it'll take to back Royenthal into a corner and have him betray his god. That's sort of the other amazing thing about it. And like, we realized this, but there's something powerful about the capitalization. And I know it's a translation thing. I don't know if the actual like Japanese audio or the script necessarily had that in it, but the capitalization of the hymn, the elevation of Reinhard in Royenthal's mind to the status of deity is fascinating, because he is now betraying his god. Or he believes that God has betrayed him. That's awesome. Well, okay. Other perspective, Royenthal doesn't strike me as a religious type of person in general. He would have believed that he had been betrayed by family, by aristocracy, by structures of power, and why not by any deities that may or may not exist out there in the universe. But he met Reinhard, this sort of ethereal, glowing figure, and was put his lot in with him, put his trust in him, believed in his ideals, idolized him. The only god he ever had betrays him. Of course, he'll respond in kind. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Ah! All right. I've blathered a lot. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move along, shall we? Let's go ahead and jump on into episode 94. I'm going to take a moment to do a resync so that all the video tracks and stuff are synced, and I'll be back in a flash. All right, let's get into episode 94. If you're watching the timer-based version, get it ready because it's coming. Parts of this song are really growing on me. The song itself is lovely. They're gonna make it to Fazan? Okay, good, cool. Hi. Hey, buddy. Alrighty. Let's have a little chat about your best friend, shall we? Where are you more loyal, right? Fuck. Yeah? You're gonna order him to fight him. Holy shit. Whoa. He wants confirmation, you know? He wants the truth. I don't want those back. You deserve those. He's convinced. Again, it's all about belief. It's too late. Yeah, this is more serious. But Mittermeier's argument makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are still homies. That conversation, yeah. True. Bingo. Ping pong. Absolutely. They would kill him. It would work. It would fucking work. But he won't do it. It would work, but he won't do it. Just remove from him the power to obstruct Royentol. And the galaxy will be consumed by war. You'll go with him? Fair. I agree. Temporarily. Ah, that's a soft no, isn't it? For sure. What? Yeah, what does it say? Hey, I'm betraying ya. Uh-huh. Yeah. But no. Uh, uh yeah. I need something. All right, Broberstein, what are you gonna do? Yeah, keep the shield. Exactly. This is running topo. Yeah, if you could make that choice. Mm, by choice. Mm. Mm. Except Westerland. Fair. Yeah, there's so many possibilities. This is like me speculating at the end. Oh man. Oh man. Lang. Oh. Uh-huh. It's actually Overstairs is just like, mm-hmm. 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 Shut the fuck up. Aww. I'm packed and ready to go. That's part of the point. Oh yeah, some unknown reason. I think that's a fair take. And bye. What's up his butt? Yeah, but not me, right? Not me. I have a feeling he's about to run into death. Hi, death. Hello. Uh-huh. I think we just had a chat. No? No? Okay. He's gonna kill him. Holy fucking Mittermeier. I'm so down for this, but this is such a bad move. Oh, that's so badass. Nobody's gonna help you, man. You don't have friends. Of all people. Okay. Can we space him? Can we just put him out of a pod? That makes perfect sense. Extenuating circumstances. Again, extenuating circumstances. Damn, Kessler. The voice of reason. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, darn. That was pretty hype. I mean, yes, intelligent is. Fuck you. Just kick him a little bit. Yeah. just give him a little kick. I'm so mean. But it's Lang. Oh, hi. Answer? 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 Oh my god, I almost forgot this is a thing that's happening. Oof. Did she go and visit Anaros? Anaros. Hmm. No, they all died willingly for your sake. For sure. What happened to Emil's hand? Did he get burned or injured during the flight? Right. Long time ago. Yeah, she was one of the first ones to really pick up on it. All right. Yes, he has. Yeah, but a small fry can still act as bait for much bigger fish. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a good move. Oh, bullshit. I'm sure you can dig up some stuff. Well, Oberstein knows that Lang is working with Rubinsky. Does Hilda? Oh, his sneaky bits. Right. Very convenient. Not like too convenient, but this is very convenient. And continues to aid you from beyond. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I hope you got a big axe because that's going to be a hard neck to chop. She's pregnant. Fuck. She's fucking pregnant. Yeah. Yep. That's all it takes. I don't know if that's the best move. You're the best. I sincerely hope that Mittermeier comes home to his loving fucking family and that this isn't a thing. But this feels like a thing. This feels like a death flag. Oh, every line you say makes this death flag bigger. I think Mittermeier is like my favorite person in the Empire. And it is, though. Narrator son just like, yeah, that's what he said, but. How close to the end are we? Oh, we're there. Oh my god. How many ships does Royantal command at present? Rebellion is a hero's privilege. What an interesting title for the episode. No. No thanks on the spoilers. Okay, I think another solid episode obviously, but definitely not with the same kind of awesome that we got in the episode before this. Some great moments here. My heart breaks for Mittermeier. I mean, it makes sense that after a very heavily Royantal focused episode, we would have a heavily Mittermeier focused episode, since he is his closest compatriot, right? His closest friend. It would be the best way to demonstrate the impact felt by this. Man, things are definitely spiraling out of control. Everything about this argument like is so good. Just just in terms of each character making reasonable points to the other, given their own perspective, assumptions, beliefs about everyone and everything that's in play. Their positions make perfect sense. And beyond that, like, their mutual respect is so well established over the course of the series that, like, ah, I don't know. I mean, my heart just breaks for both of them, but especially for Mittermeier. Royenthal has his priorities in line, I think. Like, I mean, Reinhard does. Has his priorities in line. Like, Empire comes first. Taking care of everything comes first. I can't. He can't doubt that Royenthal has betrayed him. He would love to, but he knows that he can't. If it's the threat, he has to respond as though it's a threat. And so it makes sense. But there are also these moments of, like, I can't think of any point in time where Reinhardt has ceded uh has given choice to a subordinate. Like, that is such a, and it seems like a simple thing, but we know 94 episodes in, we know how much that really means. And so when Reinhardt says, just this once, I'll give you the choice to disobey, to not follow my orders, but it won't change the outcome because I'll lead the fleet myself. But I won't force you to essentially take the head of your best friend. And that moment where we see, well, multiple moments where we see Mittermeier with his fist clenching and shaking, and just like, please, just like, please, I just want to try and mend this before it becomes impossible. These are Mittermeier's like two closest people in the world to him. The Kaiser who he adores, and the 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 best friend and practically brother. You know, like they're the space boys. They're the dynamic duo. They're the galaxy's best drinking buddies. They're the homies. And Reinhardt's a homie with Royenthal too. And it's the whole triangle of hominess. And it sucks to have it break like this. It sucks. But he chooses. Reinhardt chooses. Or, I'm sorry, Mittermeier chooses. He comes up with a, like, I'll cede everything that I have. Just enable this to happen. Just remove Oberstein and Lang temporarily so that Royenthal feels safe to communicate with you. And he's right, I think. But also, I think that Royenthal's locked in. I think the statement made by narrator-san at the end of the last episode is really coming true. We are tumbling down a hill, and there is nothing stopping it. The only question is how far we'll roll. And how much it'll hurt. So, Mittermeier makes his choice. He will. Partly in the same way that, like, with some of the same feeling as, like, Old Yeller. Like, I have to do this myself. And partly out of loyalty to Reinhardt, of course, but also partly to prevent Reinhardt from doing it, as he says later, as he justifies later. I think his reasoning makes sense. And sucks. So we get this note. It makes sense from Royenthal's perspective. It is, of course, politicized, right? It's essentially propagandist. And it's definitely got some spin on it, some heavy top spin. But it makes sense why he thinks this way. And his beef really is with Lang and Oberstein. And if they were out of the picture, well, we heard it in the last episode, like, he would have probably been willing to go and meet with Reinhardt, but he is afraid of Lang and Oberstein. If he goes, he will probably get assassinated, and I agree. I believe that. I believe that they would attempt to obstruct his return in any way that they could. No holds barred. So it makes sense. It also makes sense from the perspective of, like, and it's also kind of tragic in a way. Like, Royenthal doesn't have beef with Reinhardt. He doesn't have a reason to actually rebel against Reinhardt himself, except ambition, except more personal reasons. And so it's like, if I have to make war with you, I'll do it under the justification that your subordinates are the problem, that you have done nothing wrong, and that my goal is to save you. And it's curious because it's kind of unclear how much of this Royenthal actually believes. How much does he believe that he's working for the interests of Kaiser Reinhardt? He knows he's at odds, he's putting himself at odds with Reinhardt, but how much does he believe he's working for specifically Reinhardt's interests, and then, in a broader sense, the Empire's interests? It's unclear. It's unclear. And I think there were a couple lines in this episode, like some part of his complex motivations. And that's super accurate, because there's the personal drive and ambition. There's the feeling of being betrayed first. There's the actual betrayals, kind of, or animosity for sure, between him and Lang and Oberstein. There are so many layers to it. Which makes it even more difficult to really predict what Royenthal will actually do. don't know. I don't know if Mittermeier's right. I don't know. They've never been in conflict before. I know that Mittermeier is somewhat more accomplished than Royenthal, but that seems to me to be more a circumstantial thing. Just like, what orders was he given? Where was he sent? Where did he happen to be? They're both great admirals. They're both, I mean, I would put them on par. Which means it may come down to external influences to decide how this plays out. Terrorist influences, Easterlone influences, TrueKnit, terrorists for sure. It's going to have a big play, big factor. I'm really terrified for Mittermeier. Because of that scene that we get. We get it later. But that scene we get with him and Ava was very sweet. And that scares me. That scares me. I remember, who was it? Was it Steinmetz? Before he went to the fortress? Moving Geiersberg, I think? Or was he on Easterlone? I don't remember. But he meets with his family, right? They have a, goodbye, I'll be back. No, you won't. Puts the fear into me for Mittermeier for sure. So, okay, we get this conversation. My keyboard just popped out of its tray. I love Oberstein's not amused face here. If it were a little bit more distinctive, I would definitely crop this and make it a Discord emoji. But it wouldn't read. It wouldn't read very well. It wouldn't be visible because they have to be so small. Too bad. But I love his not amused face as Lang is just like, blah, 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 blah. He's, Lang, shut the fuck up. I love it. And of course, I'm putting words in his mouth. He's not actually saying shut the fuck up, but like, he's like, yeah, we're leaving. We're gonna go and probably have to meet with him. So you know. So here we go, charging along, and ba-boom. I find it interesting the way that we end up we start this with him looking down at Mittermeier just because of the nature of the scene. Like, he's coming down the stairs and Mittermeier's waiting for him, and yet because of the framing and because of like the way he stands so tall and like is so foreshortened in the frame, even though this is Lang looking from on high, it feels like it's Mittermeier's scene. It feels like he's super in control here. And when we do get him, we're still from above. We're doing high angle shots, but they're high angle shots of like determination. The kind that you get from a shonen protagonist, like looking up at something way bigger and scarier than he is. Like, I'm gonna do it. Can't help but cheer a little bit for Mittermeier in this moment, you know? And even though we've got these low angle shots on Lang, they make him more comical than imposing. I can't speak to how this is happening. I think part of it is just that we know these characters, and the actual expressions that they have. But then, of course, Mittermeier walks up toward us, terrifying. It's almost horror here. And then Lang keeps like shrinking down in the frame. And then he lowers himself, Mittermeier then raises up above him, comes to take up the entire frame, and then stands over him. And then interruption. Some dope stuff, some shade for sure. And then we shoot these two primarily as equals. And then off he goes. So they converse. We got some evidence against Lang. I don't remember Emil's hand getting injured, but I'm going to assume that it just happened during the flight. He got burned or zapped by a laser blaster thing. I don't know. My character's a small fry, but can't be anything else. Finds out that he's actually scum, because he is, and just, oh, damn it, whoops. I probably could have, like, taken him out of power and maybe gotten Royenthal back, but it's probably too late for Royenthal. Kind of agree with that. I think Royenthal is locked into his path, and it's not going to go pretty places, regardless of how it actually plays out. It's not going to be pretty. All right, and then we get Hilda, and she is definitely experiencing morning sickness. This girl pregnant. And she decides not to tell Reinhard. So, when Reinhard first ventured out, because we already had signs of this sickness from Hilda, I think it was just her absence from one of the meetings that I believe I caught onto and was like, is she having morning sickness? Is she in the early stages of pregnancy right now? From that point, when Reinhard fled, and especially during the attack on Uravasi, I was thinking like, wow, okay, what if Reinhard can't come back? We never get that marriage that I'm looking forward to. Reinhard gets killed out here, like genuine fear, it was possible. Never get that marriage that I'm looking forward to, and Reinhard leaves a son behind. Suddenly we have ourselves like a prince and a queen regent or empress regent and Oberstein just ready. But Oberstein wouldn't want to rule. Oh man, shit would go crazy. Shit would go crazy. In any case, now that it has been essentially confirmed, I'm still worried about that possibility. I'm still worried because like having a young heir, as we saw with Prince Golden Fuckboy, having an heir there does not necessarily establish power, but it does put a bargaining chip in the center of the table amongst all of the people who are fighting for power, and that becomes an issue. So just an interesting thought, not attached to that idea at all, and I don't want to go that route because that means Reinhard dies and stuff, and they never get married and stuff. But her decision to not tell him kind of sucks. So then we got our lovely couple who I do not want to see right before Mittermeier goes off to battle because death flag. I need to make a new death flag. I had one in like the very early parts of I think this reaction series, and I think it was actually really useful. I need to make a new one and a better one. So I might do that later today. Yike. All right. Those are going to be the 2 episodes for the day. We're 2 hours into recording almost. That first episode sparked a lot of discussion, lots of interesting stuff in it. This one, tons of interesting stuff, not quite on par with episode 93, but yeah, we've done episodes 93 and 94. Got a nice 2-hour video going up. Nice. Let's wrap it up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu. I am terrified. I hope you've enjoyed these 2 episodes as much as I have. I am terrified. I hope to catch you in the next one next week. I am terrified. Peace.